Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition of On the Road with the AHSAA Radio Network. Brett and Lauren have traveled down here to Mobile, Alabama for UMS-Wright and St. Michael, an out-of-region game, the last regular season game for both of these teams. Two really good football teams here that we're going to be featuring on Thursday night. Lauren, we're excited to be down here, and what a beautiful facility they have here at UMS-Wright.
There's no doubt about it. This place is pristine. We were walking through the halls of the school, and they have their own school store here that is really cool. So if you don't have any gear, you can just walk on into the school store and get a cool shirt or a hat. And like you said, the place is just beautiful here. You can tell they really take pride in their school and everything about it.
Right. And again, on the road, compliments of the Alabama Department of Transportation. We couldn't do this show each and every week without them, and we like to pass along some facts about about safety in driving. And we talk about the hands-free law every week. We talk about texting and driving. We don't talk a lot about driving safely and alertly in work zones. There's a lot of construction going on all over the state, on roadways, major highways, back roads, and sometimes we get caught up and we don't take in the fact that there's people stepping in and out of the roadway, and if you're not alert, there's unfortunately accidents that happen every year in these work zones, and we have got to all pay attention better when we're driving in work zones.
Yeah, speaking of, actually the road that I take every day to get home is the road that they are building our new school in Alex City on, and there's constantly different work trucks coming out and back into that road and that area, and it's so important when we're driving through there. I see people kind of speeding through, they're not being careful, they're not paying attention, and you got to slow down. Like you said, take into account that there are people that are constantly moving in and out of that traffic area, so definitely be mindful of that.
Absolutely. Again, thanks to the Alabama Department of Transportation. Glad to be here on Thursday for this game, and it's going to be an exciting football game. A story program here led by a legend in Terry Curtis, 359 wins all time. Coach Danny Horn passed him a couple of weeks ago. He's got 361. Coach Benefield at Fife is right under these guys. So they're the three coaches that have the most wins in state history are still all coaching, Lauren. So I think it's a race to see which one's going to step away first. But looking forward to going in and talking to Coach Curtis here in just a little bit. I've known Coach Curtis a long time, class act guy. 8 state titles while he's been here. He's got over 280 of those wins right here at UMS-Wright. So he is a phenomenal football coach. Everybody knows him, and looking forward to talking to him here in just a little bit.
Yeah, even when I called to set up my our time with him this week, everybody there in the athletic department is just superb. You can tell when we were walking through, you and I were both talking about how there's so much respect and discipline here, and that stems throughout their staff, their administration, and then all the way into their athletics department. I could just tell even on the phone with the sweet lady in there, they really take pride not only into their athletics and their school, but just in their character, in their own character, and that just spills out into their kids.
Tough opponent in St. Michael coming in, led by Phillip Rivers. Most everybody knows Phillip Rivers was a 17-year veteran for the San Diego Chargers at quarterback. Phenomenal coach, been coaching at St. Michael for 4 years. He has his team at 8-1. The only loss for them was to the number 1 team in 4A, and that's Jackson. Very good football team. So they'll be carrying a really good football team into this facility right behind us, Lauren, here in a few days. And it's going to be a good football game. And I know Coach Curtis and Coach Rivers got together, and this will be the first time these two schools have ever played each other, so that adds a little bit more lore to it.
Exactly, and I know that they are both super excited just to show off their athletes. I saw on their Facebook page here that there's so much pride not only just in, like I said, the academics, but their athletes, and they build those guys up for these events. They build them up for the Thursday night game so that the cameras can see just how great their students are in the classroom and then on the field. I think both teams are just ready to roll, and I can't wait to watch how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and you and I, when we leave campus here, we're about to go just right down the road to Roshell's Diner. Every time we bring that up around here, everybody goes, oh my gosh, and heard they've got an outstanding hamburger steak, maybe the best in Mobile. Got some other really good food. You and I look forward to that part every single week. Looking forward to going over to Roshell's.
Oh, I can't wait. You know, and everybody that watches the show knows this is my favorite part, is trying out different food and seeing what they have to offer. And like you said, we walked around, we were asking around, and everybody here just, their mouth started watering, I think.
Absolutely. So, again, glad to be on the road again down here in Mobile Roshell for the UMS-Wright St. Michael game. We're going to take a break. We come back. More to come right after this.
Hey! Alabama has a hands-free driving law, which means you can't hold your mobile phone while you drive. And you can only use a single finger or swipe to answer a call. And you can't send or read a text message or watch or record video. It's a part of Alabama's Code of the Road, and knowing it helps you follow it. You can check out the law at drivesafealabama.org.
When we get home, right?
Right!
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust. Trust that our quality products are reliable and innovative and backed by an outstanding warranty, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system provides comfort that blends with your lifestyle. It's slim, smart, quiet, and energy efficient. Exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
All right, here at UMS-Wright with a legend, Coach Terry Curtis, here in his office. Coach, thanks for letting us invade your privacy here.
Thanks. Glad to have you guys, Brett. It's always fun. And when we heard y'all were coming, everybody got excited. So
Nobody ran out the door.
Nobody ran out the door. Everybody was excited about moving the game. I know that's probably the hardest thing sometimes, get somebody to move from Friday to Thursday. But I've always been a guy who felt like TV, and anytime you could promote your kids and your school and your community, it was a good thing. So, we have a local group that does games here. So every time we get on there, we're excited about it, so we're glad to have you guys.
Well, we're glad to be here. Beautiful facilities here, beautiful campus here. Coach, I'll start with you in your career. You've been doing this a long time. You have amassed a ton of wins. I think it's 358. I want to say that's right. If my memory
serves. I won last week.
There you go.
359.
359. They added up here. They just keep these wins just keep compiling down here at UMS.
I tell you, they get harder and harder.
Well, you and I talked just a minute ago. I wanted to talk about that. You and I talked about your storied career and how long you've done this and how much of an impact you've had on so many young men. And when you're in the moment, when you're in the process of doing what you've done so long, obviously the goal is to win and to win championships, and you won a bunch of those here. But it's not that you don't appreciate it, but when you look back, you go, maybe I didn't appreciate those wins as much as I guess clamored over the losses, which they're few and far between down here. But maybe stopping to appreciate, and like you said, now every win is special for you.
Well, I think, too, getting older, you kind of, you're on the back end of your career, and I think you start thinking about those things more when you're younger. You're so much into the grind and get after it and do whatever you got to do to win the football game and so forth. And I think it's now when you kind of get toward the end, you realize how hard it was to win. And that's one of the messages I have for coaches now is, guys, appreciate these wins, man, because they're not easy. And I'm not sure I did that earlier in my career, which I regret. That means I didn't praise the kids and do the things I should have with them on their hard work to win a football game.
Yeah, it is a hard deal. I mean, that's why you grind every day in practice and put in the work in the off season to have a winning program. And, Coach, you have established that, and a lot of tradition here, and you've been here 26 years, and you still love it. I talked to you when I came in. You said, hey, Brett, I love this place. I love doing what I'm doing. And that's really what it's all about. As long as you love coming to work and it still is important to you, that's what it's all about.
Well, it is, and everything's important here. Academics is number one, I always tell people, but they understand the importance of co-curricular and extracurricular and those things. So sports are imported here in all our sports. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to Birmingham Wednesday to watch our girls volleyball team at state. So
Right.
it's just, everybody pulls for everybody. Our administration is unbelievable. Our kids play hard. They have practice every day. We worked out this morning at 6:15. Every one of them right here ready to go. So, it's just you get to I hate to use the word culture, but you kind of get everything like you want it. It's hard to leave it.
Well, I wanted to say, I was going to use the word standard. Your program, I know you guys have tremendous athletics here, but UMS-Wright football is known all over this state. You guys set a standard, and within the school, success breeds success. So everybody else sees the football program having success. They want their program to have success. They don't want to be the program stuck off to the side that can't have a winning record one year after another. So you kind of have started and established a long time ago the standard here at UMS-Wright.
Well, we have, and our coaches understand that. It's not all about a blue map. Those are great, but we all understand how hard they are to get. So my whole thing to them is just keep grinding, keep developing your kids, and one day you'll hopefully have that opportunity. And that's coming to fruition now. We're seeing that in our other sports as they go further and further in the playoffs, like our volleyball team, the second team that they've made it to the Elite Eight.
Right.
So you can see them getting better and better and better. So I do think and that's calls from the school. Our thing is mind, body, spirit, and the most important of these is character. And, as long as you building character in these kids and all, then they're going to participate. They're going to play as hard as they can. They're going to do it like the coaches want to do it. And our parent support is just unbelievable. And, when you get all that together, you got a chance. And it takes all those groups.
It does. Coach, you got St. Michael's coming in. That's why we're here today, again on Thursday. I know you guys have had a good season, and you play to get in the playoffs, but you got one more regular season game left in front of you. Talk about this game coming up on Thursday.
Well, we're excited to get, we don't get a whole lot of phone calls for non-region games. So when Phillip and I talked and they agreed to play, I think it'll be a good rivalry.
Sure.
It'll be the first time we've ever played, and they're a 4A school, we're a 5A school, but a lot of our kids are the same and friends. So I do think it could be a really good rivalry in the future, and we appreciate them playing. And of course, I wish he didn't have his son playing quarterback for him. That'd probably help us a little bit, but they got a team that plays really hard and does the things the right way, and then you throw Gunner and those guys in there on offense, and it makes them a good football team. I mean, the only game they lost was to Jackson, and Jackson's really, really good. And so it'll be a tough game for us, but kind of one will get us ready for the playoffs, and then we'll see how far we can go.
Yeah, kind of prepping you for that. Kind of talk about some of your guys on this team this year, some of your leaders.
Well, we got, I'd say our defense is where our focus is, and that's where our I guess more experienced players are. Both our linebackers, Kaplan Reed and Jeff Holston, have been in there a long time and very good football players. And where we're undersized, the guys do play with with great technique and do the things that they're supposed to do. And they play well as a team. We're going to play with good technique. We're going to play with good leverage. And when you do that, you got a chance. We get off blocks, and we'll see how it goes. Friday night.
Well, Coach, I know you're excited about it. Again, before I get out of here, I know you got a busy schedule. Talk about the 50-plus years you've been coaching. Not many people can say they've been in a profession for 50-something years and been as successful as you have. So I'm going to ask you a tough question here. What is the most important thing you've taken from the last 50 years? I don't know if you've ever been asked that question, but what is the most important thing in your mind that you've taken away from these many years that you've been coaching?
I'd say two things. I'd say, number one, the administrations I work for. I've been very lucky. I've never worked for a bad principal. I've heard stories about that kind of stuff, but my administration has always been supportive, and I've tried to make sure that our athletic programs were supportive of the school and the other things going on.
Sure.
I think this whole school, all that is important, whether it's the arts, whether it's academics, that you support them just like you want them to support you. And I think we all get along real well. And number two is the kids. That's probably the reason I look young as I do now. Just those kids keep you young.
Right.
They keep you on your toes. They keep you in the time. I never thought I'd know as much about technology and different songs and so forth. I mean, I've heard today all about Taylor Swift being over in New Orleans this weekend.
Right.
And all our kids were over there, and they were telling me all about the songs and so
are you a Swiftie now?
No, I'm not a Swiftie. They get mad because I'm not. I tell them I don't really like her music.
Right.
But I think just the kids and staying in contact and then my assistant coaches, they're my best friends. You know, I may not even know some of my neighbors that been living by me for 15 years.
Right.
But these coaches and their families and watching them get married and have kids of their own. And a lot of these guys have been with me 15 to 20 years. And I watched them. I hired them out of college, 5 former players on my staff. So that means a lot to make sure that they're taken care of. And guys, they grind, they do a great job. And you know, those 3 things I would say is why it's hard to get out of this.
Sure.
Because my best friends are coaches.
Well, that's a lot, Coach. Yeah. And again, you've done a phenomenal job. You still are doing an outstanding job here at UMS-Wright. And that day, whenever that is, that you decide to walk out of here, I know there's going to be a lot of sad people to watch you leave because you have really set UMS-Wright to a level that everybody is trying to chase, and that's a mark for you. And you know, I know your son well. He and I went to Auburn together, so I think a lot of Casey. And feels like we were at Auburn yesterday, and I told you I've got a son that's a junior now. I don't know where those 25 years go, but it goes by fast when you're having fun.
You'd better believe it. And I went to Auburn. I knew y'all did, and you know, hopefully they'll start playing a little bit better too.
I hope so.
Maybe last week helped, but we're glad to have y'all here, and it's a big honor to anytime you can be on TV. And you know, I just can't say enough. The UMS-Wright people show up, and they'll be very appreciative of y'all and what y'all do for high school athletics.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out. Appreciate you, and good luck to you guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Alabama has a hands-free driving law, and that means you can't hold your mobile phone while making a call. Oh, and no writing messages, recording, or watching videos either. Plus, you can only use a single button or swipe of a finger to answer a call. So what's a driver to do? Alabama's hands-free driving law is in effect. Follow it.
You know, I'm a person too.
All right, here at St. Michael with head football coach Phillip Rivers. Coach, good to see you. Glad you let us take a little bit of your time today.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Got a big non-region game. This is the first time you guys have ever played UMS-Wright. I just saw Coach Curtis a little bit ago. He said you guys kind of got on the phone and made this happen. Just kind of talk about the opportunity to play UMS-Wright.
Yeah, well, Coach Curtis and that staff and that program, and even before Coach Curtis got there, but what he's done there in his time and the type of atmosphere and school and program they've been is something, you know, you shoot for. You know, we've been here since 2016, and you go, man, they're just 100 years or so ahead of us. But he's done an unbelievable job with those guys. We talked even 2 years ago about trying to make it work, and it finally, you know, we had the new reclass. So you're scrounging around trying to find non-region games, not having to go too far. And so we thought it'd be a heck of a way to finish the season playing those guys and getting to go over there. It'll be an awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a good barometer for both of you heading into the playoffs. I know you guys already know who your first round opponent is in Hanley, but kind of talk about the approach. You guys have had a great season 8-1, lost to a very good Jackson team. Has been number 1 in 4A. Kind of talk about the approach going into playing a team like UMS-Wright before you go into the playoffs.
Yeah, so last year we had a bye going into the playoffs, and we didn't really love it. We didn't know. We said, oh, wow, this will set up good. We'll get fresh. But I felt like we kind of lost our edge a little bit. Taking a week off, it's a little different when you take a week off in the NFL than when you have a bunch of high school guys take a whole week off. So I think it'll be good. I mean, it keeps you we've gotten a lot better. I felt like our opponents in non-region have helped us get better. And so this is another one that will be as such. And so you're a little bit of you caught in between. Are you holding stuff back? But you still want to go win the game. I mean, they all matter and they all count.
You want to carry momentum into the playoffs.
But there's also certain things you go, well, this will be on tape that Hanley's getting. Is that good or bad? So. But all in all, I mean, our guys are excited. We have some families that have, some guys on the team, their parents went to UMS. I mean, there's cousins. There's a little bit of crossover. So it's, I know our guys are excited. The communities are excited. It should be a great atmosphere.
This is relatively a young school still. I think is this your 4th year, Coach?
4th year, yeah.
All right, so 4th year, you guys have progressively gotten better. Sitting here, going to have that home playoff game. You and I just talked a little bit ago. You had to make that trip to Hanley last year. Now you get to have them come to you. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the first year on campus. We played over at Volanta, which is where Fairhope plays, which is a great grass field over there. But it wasn't ours. Certainly thankful to have that place, but awesome to be on campus now. And it's been fun to have home games. It's been big for our school, big for our students. And so now to host a first playoff game here on November the 8th is exciting for everyone. And it's a heck of an opponent again in Hanley, kind of a rematch from last year. Just did a home and home with them, it seems like. But they do a heck of a job. But yeah, looking forward to that first home playoff game, and it's been exciting for our school to be on campus.
Before I let you go, talk about some of your kids. I know you get to coach your son. That's pretty impressive. But talk about some of your leaders on your team.
Yeah, well, Gunner, you mentioned he's had a heck of a year. He started every game as a freshman last year. He's a 10th grade this year, quarterback, and he's kind of keep making those strides that you want to see in a natural progression. He's done a good job spreading the ball around to a lot of guys. Noah Moss at tailback has had over 1,000 yards rushing. Brody Jones, receiver, over 1,000 yards receiving. Tucker Thomason, another receiver that's a big player. He's averaging almost 19, 20 yards a catch. And then I mentioned one of our top linemen, Rocco Faiupu, plays both ways. He's a left tackle and defensive end. Defensively, safety Ali D. He's kind of as the captain's the bunch as a senior safety there on the defensive side. And our kicker, Patricio Garcia, he's hit all 39 PATs this year, and I think he's 5 for 7 field goals. So it's been a fun team to be a part of. And I mentioned all those guys, and certainly I could go on and on, but only 8 seniors. So it's a junior, sophomore heavy team, and excited about what's remaining in this year and then looking to the future.
Well, Coach, appreciate it. Looking forward to the game on Thursday night with UMS-Wright. It's going to be a great non-region battle, and then good luck in the playoffs as you move forward.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system is exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
Hey! Alabama has a hands-free driving law, which means you can't hold your mobile phone while you drive. And you can only use a single finger or swipe to answer a call. And you can't send or read a text message or watch or record video. It's a part of Alabama's Code of the Road, and knowing it helps you follow it. You can check out the law at drivesafealabama.org.
When we get home, right?
Right.
Okay, Lauren, we just walked out of Rochelle's Diner here in downtown Mobile, and it did not disappoint. And I know we say this, and we've been to some great places. And all of the joints, really, that we've been to this year have been good. But I think you and I just ate the best hamburger that we've ever had. Both of us said it at about the same time. The reason we're out here talking and not in the restaurant is so loud in there, and there's so many people in there. As you'll see, I got some good footage of them cooking and all the people coming in and out here, and I know why there's so many people in there now after eating that, but it is literally the best burger I think I've ever had.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. So I got a hamburger that had chili and cheese and onions and mustard. It was falling apart as we were eating it, which we were both kind of like, this thing is so good, it's literally falling to pieces. That means if a hamburger or a hot dog is just spilling out with stuff, that's when you know it's good.
When you have to order extra napkins, when you have to keep asking for more napkins, it means you're in a good place. But you're right. You had that burger. I had the hickory burger, had their special barbecue style sauce on there, and man, just phenomenal. They have great breakfast here. They were talking about that in there. They're known for their hamburger steaks. But we asked Marty, we said, what do we need? He said, oh, by far the burger. It's what's kept them in business. They've been on this corner since 1929. This has been a family-owned business, almost 100 years old, and they've been serving these hamburgers since 1953.
Yeah, it's such a sweet little place. I love that about it. You actually can see his mom. She was in the back.
She's Roshell.
Yeah, she's Roshell. She's the one that was back there. And look, she doesn't let the name of the business keep her away. She's back there actually cooking the hamburgers. And she came up. She was so nice talking with us and just telling us the passion behind their restaurant. So if you're in the Mobile area, you have to stop by here and try it out.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. The food's great, but the atmosphere is even better. So make sure if you're downtown Mobile, we're just about a half a mile from UMS-Wright. It's very convenient, so come taste some of the best food that the Mobile area has to offer right here in Roshell's Diner.
Alabama has a hands-free driving law, and that means you can't hold your mobile phone while making a call. Oh, and no writing messages, recording, or watching videos either. Plus, you can only use a single button or swipe of a finger to answer a call. So what's a driver to do? Alabama's hands-free driving law is in effect. Follow it.